Hi guys. How's it going? Good deal. Your week going okay out there? Good deal. Where are you from? Kiwani. Where is that at? Guys, we got some more of you in here. How's everybody doing tonight? Like older country music. The newer country music isn't that exciting in my opinion. Let's see if we can. Dixon, Dallas? Nope, can't say that I have. What kind of country music does he sing? Just any. Gotcha. Trade you one. You guys ever heard of Matt Robertson? Can you guys see what I'm doing, or is chat too low? Matt Robertson's he's a cowboy slash musician. He's about my favorite musician singing right now. Let me do that. How's that? That's a better shot for you guys. Chat threads blocking the money. How's that, Roberto? Is that better? Blake Shelton. Blake Shelton was cool back in the old days. Bring your heel down a little bit here. Hi, Ronaldo. So where's everybody from out there tonight? Kind of a Thursday evening. Imagine most of you guys are done with work for the day, but I'm not. From Texas, all right. From Santa Clarita. Roberto, I used to, well, I didn't say I used to. I spent about a year living in Santa Barbara there. I worked in the oil fields offshore. I like the old music. Hi, Matt. Hi, Lena. I figured when you guys honked as you drove by, you seen I was on here. Who's doing all the shooting, Matt? Is that Clint? These are Air Mustangos. This old horse, he deserves Jordans, though. He's given me a whole lot of miles. Quite a bit better there. I don't have all the fancy farriers racks and all that, so my tools see the dirt fairly often. This Delta shoe, it fits his foot pretty good, but I got to bring it in just a little bit. I don't have a forge, so I cold shoe. Which, I wish I knew how to use a forge. That's Luke, in case you guys don't know him. he's a pretty cool old guy. See how that fits in. I want to see just a little bit of overhang on the foot. So that fits pretty well, and it sits flat. I come back over to my anvil here, run the pritchel across it. Which, let's see, you guys can't see that. All this pritchel, and all it does is it breaks the casting flash on these nail holes. You see the difference between the side I did there and the side I didn't do. Makes them just a hair bigger, makes the nails sit better. We are ready to go on. I'm going to some pretty rocky country, so I'm going to put 8 nails in. Oh, pinto horse. Yeah, that's Luke's only spot right there. He's got that and 4 socks and a blaze down his face, but he's not really a pinto. We had a pinto, but we just put her down earlier this week. She was closing in on 30 years old. Lived a good life. Set his foot down. Once we clean that up, that'll look pretty good, don't you think? I don't know, I'm probably screwed if a real farrier comes into the live, because I'm not a real farrier. Oh yeah. Knox is kind of a cool name for a horse. I've never had one named Knox. Don't be scared if you guys got any questions about what or why I'm doing. Go ahead and ask them. That's what keeps Chad interesting. If not, it's just a quiet video of a guy putting shoes on a horse. All right. Got that one done. Pick the tools up from this side and we'll go do that other front foot, and then I'll go back after that and clean them up. Clench nails and stuff like that. But I try to let him have a rest on the other foot. Set you guys right there. Let's see here. Oops. There we go. Live on the farm. Becky, I've got 9 horses right now. Between foals and brood mares and retired horses, I'm only keeping 3 of them shod right now. And all 3 of them need shod right now, of course. Seems like that's a never-ending project. Most people say to do their horses every 6 to 8 weeks, which is an okay generalization, you know. Personally, I don't do them that often. Doesn't mean I shouldn't, I just don't. I'll let them go 10 or 12 weeks sometimes. And I don't have any formal schooling putting shoes on horses. It's just part of my job that I do. So there's a whole lot of guys that are a lot better at it and know way more about it and are a lot faster at it than I am. But I keep mine shod, so. Becky, no, its hoof is made out of the same material like that our fingernails are made out of. So when you do things correctly, no, it doesn't hurt them at all. It's just like getting your fingernails done. That being said, if you set a nail wrong, you can get too close to their coffin bone and that gets really tender. That's called hot nailing one. When I get this foot cleaned up here, I'll show you guys some guidelines and what to look for to avoid doing that. If you notice right now, I'm just kind of scraping with my nippers and all this white flaky stuff is falling out. That's all dead keratin. It's just like the part of your fingernail that's grown out that you would clip off. So there's no feeling in it, but of course, he can feel me moving his foot around and hammering on it and stuff. You're okay. He thought I was asking him to put it down right there. So I'm gonna trim this. Okay. So as I come around the sides here, you got to be careful and not go too deep, because that shoe needs to have good contact all the way around. So that's what comes off. That's just the horse's version of a fingernail trimming. Now I'm gonna, let me see, I'm gonna nip this down just a hair more. Okay, I'll move the camera closer for you. Let's see if I can explain this well. Again, I don't know like the proper terms and all this. This is something that just is part of my job. But if you look on his foot, you have the darker material here. That's his hoof wall. And then where it changes colors a little bit solider, that's the inside of his hoof wall. And that's not quite fibrous, but it's a little bit different. And then just to the inside of that is really what you need to pay attention to. It's called the white line. And when I set my nails, I have to make sure and not get that shoe to where the nail would set like right there. It needs to set right under that hoof wall. And those nails are built in such a way that they curve out as you hammer them in. Unless, of course, you have them facing the wrong way, and then they will curve in. But as long as your nails stay outside of that white line and just go through the hoof wall, they have no feeling of it at all, and it doesn't make them sore. Another thing I can't quite show you guys because I don't have enough hands, but you need to look at the angle of his foot side to side and front and back on all that. Micah working on Luke today, putting some shoes on him because we're headed up north to go gather a desert. Probably next week. But as I was saying, you got to make sure and get him level. Just like if you got a pair of shoes that's wore out really bad on the heel, it'll make your back hurt. Same thing. So you got to get them pretty square and level. Where are you at in the videos, Micah? Again, this hoof is not ready for the shoe. I'm just checking to make sure if I need to shape on this shoe at all. I probably will a little bit, but I'm gonna get it flat first here. Take this high spot off this heel. I can tell you guys from firsthand experience, it hurts like hell when you rasp one of your own knuckles off. I've still got the scars to prove it on that knuckle. I usually wear mechanics gloves when I'm doing this, but the set I had got kind of rotted out. Hey, give me that. The set I have kind of got rotted out from the sun and the dry. There. Just getting it flat and level side to side. As far as the angle goes, front to back, basically if you stay with the angle of the sole, it'll set pretty good for that horse. So that sits pretty good on there. That shoe is just a skosh wide, but I think I'm gonna run it right there. So I'll come back over to my anvil here. Becky, I'm in northern Nevada. Run my britchel through these nail holes again. You'll see a lot of horses around the country with just 3 nails on either side. I know where I'm going and where I'll work at a lot. This fall's pretty rocky country, so I'm going to go in just for some insurance that I don't pull a shoe. Is it hot? Today was nicer. We were, I think, in the mid 80s Fahrenheit, but we've been in the 90s and 100 Fahrenheit. No, it doesn't quite get as hot as Arizona or Texas, that's for sure. Oh, I'll be dumb. Where are you at, Micah, if you're out in Nevada? You can answer kind of generally. You don't have to say right where you're from. Reno, huh? Pretty close to you. I'm in Fallon. Is there still any Burning Man traffic coming through Reno? I got car washes on the side of the road. Oh man, the burners are a different breed. Yeah, we're just a stone throw away for sure. Becky, yeah, use horses not quite on a daily basis, but most days. I work for a ranch, raises cattle, and then I take a lot of contracted work called day work out. Basically, I'm like a mercenary, but for cows. Got a little bit of shoe hanging back right there. Not enough to worry about. I know this horse well enough. He's not gonna clip himself or forge on himself and pull that off, so I'm not worried about it. If this horse had a habit of clipping against himself, I would make sure and get that shoe set to where that entire shoe is under his foot there. But it's plenty good for Mr. Luke here. So we'll get the other 6 nails in. Can you guys hear the gunshots on stream, or is the phone not picking them up? What would happen if a horse that didn't have shoes on, or if they didn't get changed? So horses in the wild, their hooves, because they're not having somebody shoe them, their hooves will naturally break off and maintain a pretty good shape. But of course that does leave them, you know, if they get predators or something runs them real hard, they can get stone bruised easy. And the reason that men shoe horses is to protect him from stone bruises and chips and stuff like that. My neighbor must be sighting in a rifle or something. Yeah, and they can have a lot of health things go wrong with them there by not having shoes on. That being said, Luke, he was a Mustang. He was born in the wild and gathered by the government at some unfortunate point in his life. When I got him, he had already been in a pasture that was wet often, so his feet got really soft. So his feet were kind of basically, I call it ruined, which he still got good feet. He's sound. He has no pain or nothing like that, but I can't ride him without shoes. Where a lot of guys that have these Mustangs, they can ride them without shoes, and their feet are just hard and cracked off well enough that they don't need to put shoes on them. So going without shoes isn't a bad thing. Some horses you can do it. Most horses you probably shouldn't if you're riding and riding fairly hard. If you put shoes on and don't pull them off, eventually they'll fall off for one of two reasons. The first reason is the hoof will get long enough and brittle enough, it'll just break off with the shoe. Or the second reason is when I put this nail in this shoe, it sits like that. And if you notice, it sticks out just a hair past the edge of the shoe. Now, of course, I will have hammered them down a little bit more than that, but they will wear the bottom of the shoe, so much material off the bottom of the shoe and the nail head that the shoe will just pull off over the shank of the nail, and the shank of the nail will start in that part, stay in that part of the hoof until it comes off, just through the natural flaking off process. One thing to consider though is when your horse's feet get long, it puts more leverage on that suspensory tendon when their toes are long. So by keeping them shod fairly regularly and maintaining the correct shape of their hoof, you're doing a good service to them for preventing injury there also. Okay, I got shoes on. You're gonna hear a little noisy diesel car. My wife's coming home from the grocery store. We got shoes on Luke's front feet. I'm gonna clench those nails and stuff like that. Yeah, Becky, absolutely. My horses, they work hard for me, so I try to do what's best for them at all times. It's never a good feeling when something kind of goes wrong. And you're also going to hear a rambunctious little toddler, probably. So all this does is it just folds the head of the nail over and makes a hook that hangs on the hoof. That way the nails can hold the shoe onto the hoof. Okay. Trim off some of the excess hoof wall around the outside of the nail. grab my other rasp. Now all I'm going to do with this rasp is go around the outside of the foot, like so. And make sure that there's no hoof wall sticking outside of the nail. Okay, I'm gonna set you guys up here for just a second. I'm gonna grab this foot like this, put it on my knee here. Then the last thing I'm going to do is take the smooth side of the rasp and just knock any burrs off those nails. And that foot's done. So we'll go and finish the other side now. Just a second, Mike. I'll grab my tools and I'll read your question there. Alright, what you got, Micah? Might be a dumb question, but if the hoof grows out and starts to push that shoe out, would it start to push the heel down further as the shoe progresses further forward? Or will they fall out before? It depends on the horse. Some horses' feet grow pretty evenly all the way around. Luke is that way. Some horses, the toes grow a lot faster than the heel. And some horses, the heel grows faster than the toe and makes them club-footed where they stand up straight. So really it depends on the horse. So I'm gonna get this foot clinched here. You guys should be here. The chickens are flocking after my toddler and she is not impressed. It's pretty funny. If the shoe's ill-fitting, sometimes it'll just fall off early. Sometimes you can make a horse sore that way, but neither one's a guarantee. There's a lot of really ill-done shoeing jobs that the shoes stay on there and the horse stays sound until the next time. Not that I've always put perfect shoes on. I've had my fair shoes fall off, and I have made a horse sore once or twice when I was learning. It's kind of like blowing a tire on a car. If you drive enough miles, you're going to blow a tire. You put enough shoes on horses, inevitably you're going to make one a little bit sore. The important thing there is just to recognize it, give the horse the time off he needs, figure out why it made him sore, and correct it. You can see on this foot, I've got a pretty good flare around there. I know this horse well enough where that doesn't bother me, because that always tries to grow out faster on him. So I just run around it with my nippers, clean it up to where it kind of tucks back down in there. And then it'll be a couple sets of shoes before I have to do that again now. Kind of bring that around like so, and it will work just fine. It's the same way. Cheat them on this one, just get it from here. Plenty good. Micah, it depends upon the tack. I just posted a video to my channel today talking with a friend of mine that makes my saddles. Ropes. I have a rope shop. I sell ropes myself. McCarty's and bridle reins and things like that. Get them from various places, but in a pinch, I will go to D-Bar M. They're on 4th Street. I don't know if you're in the Western world, you know where they are, and you've probably been in there. But if not, it's worth going and checking out. It's pretty cool. But I don't have like a one spot shop for tack, other than I do sell ropes and some spur straps and stuff like that on my website. So, all right. Well, these front feet are done. I don't quite know if I have enough daylight to do his back feet, but we'll try it. I've put shoes on by dark before. Well, Becky, these horses work hard for me. I'm going to do everything I can to look after him. So, probably set you guys about there. Pull you up. Let's see, we'll try it right there, see how it works. Relax here, big guy. Get this hard crap dug out of his foot here. Okay, that's enough. That. So all this tool's doing is just unfolding those clinches. Here's a puller at look. Rainy Land and Livestock. It would be a nice horse if a man owned it. He's damn sure not my little girl's horse, and you know that, though. Have you donated any entry fees there lately, Rainy Land and Livestock? I heard that's what you're pretty good at. I gotta keep steps. Oh yeah. Yeah, Rainy Land and Livestock, he's a pretty good friend of mine. I don't always claim him depending what circle of people I'm in, no. Mission your donation partner. Yeah. Yeah, I won't claim to have made the difference on that. Hey, why aren't you doing this, Tom? Thanks, Becky. It's too colorful for YouTube. Fair enough. See, with me, shoeing horses and colorful language don't come at the same time. They come the next morning when I try to get out of bed after shoeing horses. Do you guys bring any buckles home from Elko? That's exactly what I sound like. Rainy Land and Livestock, they went playing up in Elko this weekend, and I stayed here because we had hay to bale. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you guys on here. Tell Jeff I says hello. So I'm losing daylight fast enough. I'm just gonna pull the other back shoe and then we'll put his back shoes on tomorrow. But did Jeff draw any hunting tags this year, Lisa? Jeff and Lisa's on the live. Oh, really? Yeah. He wanted to come say hi. Let's see, Micah, you could have some. Don't let anybody, don't let Rainy Land and Livestock, don't let him fool you. He puts a pretty nice set of shoes on a horse. Too many stars. Oh, jeez. I'm not gonna say I have to pay really close attention when I'm on YouTube as to what I say. Oops, need that. Ha! Perfect. No hunting tags is a bummer, but sending something to freezer camp's always a good thing. And Tom, you're lucky I seen Marissa's picture on the Elko Fair Facebook page, because I had a whole slew of jokes lined up accusing you guys of going to Burning Man. Yeah, Micah, your editing does go up a lot when you have to start doing that. That is for sure. Oh, Mustang, what's your problem? Okay. What, are you going to be done now? Why don't you just stand back where you were? What, are you nervous now? Because there's phone. Well, say hi. Oh, that's why Luke spooked. Terry showed up. How you doing, Terry? Yeah, I'm looking more fairer than cowboy right now. That's for sure. Earlier today, I looked saddle maker. I helped a buddy of mine put a ground seat in a saddle. Yeah. All right. I think Luke fell asleep there is what happened. He does that. He's old. Becky, I've been kicked, bit, stepped on, run into, run over, drug behind, drug underneath. Yeah, it's happened. All of it. Between cowboying and rodeo and when I was in high school and college, yeah, it's all happened. What are we doing here, Luke? There's trailed cows home from the forest on the old Mustang. I'll only do 2 shoes at a time. Hey, I'm falling into that category. I shod the fronts on him earlier, and I'm just pulling the backs, and I'll do his backs tomorrow because I'm running out of daylight. Have you been seriously hurt? No, the worst I've ever been hurt is I broke my right wrist bad enough they had to put a screw in it to hold it together. But other than that, no, I've never been really seriously hurt. Thank you, Luke. Several of my buddies have. The Lord's blessed me with pretty good protection through all my stupidities. Terry's pretty cowboy though. Terry, have you ever been seriously hurt dealing with horses? Whoa, I can see what I'm doing. Somebody turn the light on. You can do them. I did them at 350 yesterday because of the asparagus. Okay. It worked pretty good. All right. Let's see. Nope, just the bulls. No, Michael, well, yeah, kind of the last few seconds, last minute or two. What you missed is I put 2 front shoes on Luke. I just pulled these back shoes. I'll put those on tomorrow. If my day doesn't get crazy or nothing stupid happens, I'll just go live tomorrow again in the evening while I put his 2 back shoes on. And then I got one more horse to do also. But I'm going to stream for a little bit longer because I'm going to clean my tools up and chew the fat with you guys and stuff like that. And then we can walk through all the horses because I know there's a bunch of people on here that don't know all the horses yet. And if you follow the channel, you inevitably meet them all. Yeah, respectfully, Terry, I'm going to disagree. I'd rather get stepped on by a bull than a horse any day. The bull's hoof will spread out when he steps on you. 1 horse a day, 2 shoes for me, and my back is done. Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, I'll be feeling it tomorrow when I crawl out of bed. But it's all good. Tomorrow's chest and triceps, so leg day's the day after that. So. You'll notice, Terry, well, combat boots, that'll make a hell of a difference. You get you some good arch and ankle support, your back will do a lot better. Becky says, I've only ever rode a few horses, but would love to have one. How do you find time to work out? You get up early. By the time most people are starting the day, I've got half my accomplishment list checked off most days. Becky, do you know who... Mark, come over to South Dakota and I'll throw a set on for you. No, Mark, you see, you got to come out here and I'll let you trot around the deserts with me for a couple days. We'll throw some sets on together. How about that? Yeah, Terry, dude, the combat boots, they look goofy, but that's the only way to do it, especially out here because the sand don't get in them if you get the right kind. Like, it's way better. How are you doing, Mark? How's Miss Bailey doing? But Becky, if you don't know who Jocko Wilnick is, look him up. He has some great advice on how to get stuff done. Get up in the mornings. He posts, I think, yeah, it's his Instagram. He posts his alarm clock every morning at 4:30 when he gets up. Yeah, Mark, that would be fun. I imagine someday we'll end up somewhere together where we can do some roping or something, but there's nothing that beats a fall gather in the desert. We're just barely starting it right now. We got old Mustang here. Oh, I better take him back and put his fly mask on. Do you guys have, those of you that have Mustangs, do the flies bother their eyes really bad? If I don't keep a fly mask on him, man, he'll get like, his eyes will swell up and they'll ooze that nasty green stuff. So I gotta keep a fly mask on him. I have no idea what they're... Owen, man, I don't hunt anymore. But I'll go hang out. It's 3:49 in Britain and I haven't been to sleep yet. 3:49 in the morning and you haven't been to sleep yet, Becky? See, there you go. Perfect time. Just go get you a gym membership. Go to the gym. All right, sorry about that, guys. I love the gym, but I get addicted. Oh, and I'm still in Fallon right now. Yep. Love the gym. The gym is not a bad thing to get addicted to. There's Mr. Luke with his fly mask on. I'll turn you guys around here. You can see everybody. Mark, have you seen the pickup I got with the stock racks on it? This is a cowboying rig now. Thank you, Owen. Good to see you here. Heck yeah, Owen, that'd be all right. I know, I think Ormat Geothermal's doing a great big project somewhere east of town here. So, this is my welding, Owen. Good old 6011 right there. It's for your knees. There you go, Becky. You keep them moving, they'll be all right. So we got a mare's over here. This little dun mare right here that's leaving us. She's the mare I get my half drafts out of. My wife's little filly. That's Hot Lips. She's a half draft. Look, Quincy over there. Oh yeah, yeah. If you own a company and you ought to look them up. When I leave for the gym every morning here at like 4:45 or 5 o'clock sometimes, I see a pile of welding rigs headed out east of town. I imagine there's geothermal something or other. Oh, you bet, Owen. That's the whole point of having chat. I'm gonna turn you guys around again here. Put you back in the... Luke, what are you doing? Put you guys back in the tripod where I can go turn Luke loose. So we got a new temporary horse. My brother's gonna go out desert and help me gather it next week. So we have his little, well, he's bigger than he used to be. We have his Mustang. That is the great gray goose right there. He's a character. Oh yeah, there's always stuff being built at USA Parkway. Hardest part about that would be dealing with the traffic every day. It would be a nightmare. Just broke out your gray. Okay, Terry, full disclosure here. I saw the shorts you posted about that, but I haven't watched them yet. So now I'm gonna have to watch them. I don't know about stunning, but he's something, Becky. He's a character. I put a lot of miles on Goose when he was young, and he showed me ways that a horse can be a weirdo that that I didn't expect. He must be like with Q&D or something there, Micah. Yours is named Spooky. This one's named Grey Goose because he always acted drunk when he was young. Northeastern Saskatchewan, that's a whole different game if we use long ropes because the trees and you can't go anywhere without shafts because of the thorns and burrs. Sounds fun. Becky, it's almost 8 o'clock at night over here. All right, good deal, Terry. Did Owen? Did you have this the second gen? Were you parked just a few trailers down from me? Yeah. Okay. Well, good to see you on here, Owen. All right. That's a nice pickup you got. I know I told you that, but that's a nice looking pickup. I see it's starting to get a little bit of the cancer on the quarter panels, though. No, we got two Owens in chat right now. Owen Road, I met him at the Pro-Am a week ago, 10 days ago, something like that. Canadian. Oh yeah. Did that guy from Canada who had the shackles broke on his trailer across the road from us, did he get all fixed up, or did they haul that trailer into a mechanic or something? I felt bad for him because I just took all the tools out of my trailer. I normally keep a little bit of stuff with me, but I didn't have I heard they hauled. Jeez. I know they were working on it late that night. They were. I felt bad for them. Remember the guy that had the second gen jewelry park next to us at Pro-Am? They're like 2 or 3 trailers down from us. He had that real nice second gen. Yeah. Anyway, she's on track. Yeah, that's man. I I don't I feel bad. I've been broke down so many times in different places. I feel bad for anybody that breaks down anywhere. Especially a deal like that where you just want to hang out and stuff, you know, do whatever, and instead you got a mechanic on your pickup. That ain't no fun. O and B says it sucks up here because there's no rope and you got just the odd job, but I'm hired full time out right now for the day. Hey, that's not a bad deal. I mean, you're riding full time. Terry, did Spooky show any signs of night blindness? Yeah, Corey, no E. Just Cory. Let's see. That'll work for the night. Got Mr. Goose fed. He's a character. Got everybody in here fed. It's getting pretty dark out. There's a little bit of a moon here, but not much. There goes Trapper. Oh, feeding with a team, it'd be pretty cool. I've only been around a team just a little bit, and it was in the summer, so we did it. It was with a buckboard that was converted to run rubber running gear, so it didn't have skis on it, but it was pretty neat. I really enjoyed it. I'd like to be around teams more. It just hasn't come across in my life. How O and B? How familiar are you with the channel? Did you know that I raise half draft horses? I don't know the answers to any of that, Micah, except the team is like a pair of horses that's used to pull a wagon. It's called a team of horses. But I have no idea about the wild horse thing. So. But that's chores for the night. I wanted to get all 4 of Luke's shoes done, but made do with what I had. Nothing yet. My wife started the barbecue. I thought maybe she put the steaks on it. Okay, Owen B. Yeah, I got a quarter horse mare. She was one of them you just saw out there. And I crossed her to a registered Clydesdale by the name of Battle River Inc. And he's pretty cool for a Clydesdale. He's been in movies and he does like dressage and hunter jumper and stuff like that. And I picked him because he's athletic for his size. I didn't want to be making half plow horses, so I use them on my cowboy work. If you go to the video, the most recent video I posted with him would be my Buck Brannaman Pro-Am video. The other Owen, I was talking to him about him when I met him there. I was really amazed at how well that horse did that weekend. Oh, Becky, having horses is such a blessing, for sure. Oh. Hey, get out of there. What are you doing? Saw an article. Where was that article at, Micah? I'd like to read that just out of curiosity. Some of the guys that rode past just have to. Oh yeah. Yep. They're definitely nice for their size. He's only a 4-year-old, so he's got a lot of learning yet to do, but he's doing really well. I'm going to give him at least until the first of the year off. I rode him harder than I like to ride a 4-year-old, trying to get him ready to go to the Pro-Am. But he earned some time off. So, anyways, I guess I have to give you guys an update on Baker here. She's kind of living the kennel life right now. No, you stay down. You're okay. But she's healing up pretty good. She holds it up in the kennel, but she'll put some weight on it when she gets around. She jumped off the truck the other day, and when she hit the ground, this leg broke way up high up in here. A really clean break. And Dr. Beck put a big rod through the bone, up the middle of the bone, to get her healed up. So she's going to be living the kennel life for 6 to 8 weeks. But she's doing good. Hi, Spiro. Yeah, we're just finishing up. We put 2 shoes on Luke and pulled his back shoes off. And we're going to go live. Hopefully, we're going to go live again tomorrow evening to finish shoeing Luke and do some shoes on Henry. Oh, yeah, Terry, is that when they stopped... Is that when they had like what, that $500 incentive for you to take one of them? But all that really meant was that they'd give you a horse and $500 and you signed all your property rights over to the government? Oh, and I don't do very much on Instagram. I do a little bit on Facebook and a little bit on TikTok, but most of it's YouTube here. Yeah, Spiro, have to tune in tomorrow. Like I said, if my day doesn't get crazy, if my evening is what I hope it's going to be, I need to get them horses shod up anyways, so it's might as well just go live and have some company when I do it. So actually, I'm going to put these stakes on quick while we're sitting here talking. Miss Brindley's on the couch. She doesn't get very much screen time, but she gets a little bit at night sometimes. That's the thing I like the least about doing all this YouTube stuff is how much screen time it makes me have, and she sees it. Like, I try to do a lot of it like in the mornings before she's up, or sometimes at night after she goes to bed, so she doesn't see like the hours of editing and stuff like that, because I don't want her growing up thinking that, you know, you just stare at a phone your whole life, because that's not a very cool way to live. Yeah, Terry, that damn sure happened a lot. I think they should have had a way to check on them horses when those people took them, but the couple people that I talked to about it said you signed your property rights over indefinitely, like even after the horse was long gone, which there's no need for that. All right, Jeff, Lisa, love you guys. That's some family of mine right there. That being said, I have a pretty hot take on the whole wild horse thing anyways, and not a lot of people agree with me on it, but all I will say is that this country has an abundance of wild horses and starving veterans, and to me, the problem solves itself. I would have no problems at all eating wild horses. Oh, thanks for the subscription, Becky. Appreciate that. Micah, shoot me an email, brubucknevada@gmail.com. This whole thing's not turning enough of a profit right now to hire help, but if you got any advice on how to do it better or quicker or anything like that, I'd thanks your listen, because I've been figuring it out as I go. Alright, how's that look, guys? Big old chuck steak on there, been marinating for 48 hours. There's a smaller horse who needs a grip against the he got pulled across the pasture, which fucked up pretty bad. He was okay after a bit. Yeah, a lot of guys don't, you know, them smaller horses, they can really, you know, they can move and like cutting horse size, they can dang sure cut good and all that. But it's just simple physics when you tie a 1,300 or, you know, 11 or 1,200 pound horse to a 18 or 2,200 pound bull, the bull's going to win every time. So that being said, my half draft horses, they can't move the ways that them smaller cutting horses can. Need moderators for your channel? Not quite yet, Becky. I don't have big enough lives to need a moderator, and I've only ever had one or two reasons to boot somebody out of a chat. Yeah, Micah, that sounds good. Shoot me an email. Anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna... Yeah, they're just not pasture horses, the smaller ones. Yeah, for sure. Anyways, I think I'm gonna give the live stream here a couple more minutes, and we'll kind of wrap everything up, and then I'm gonna spend some time with my wife and little girl and eat some dinner and go to bed and do it all over again tomorrow. So, as you guys can see, it got nice and calm out, pretty dark. So, let that old chuck steak cook a minute there. Terry, is that wild horse adoption program, is that where you got old Spooky from, or did you get him somewhere else? Alright, good night, Spiro. Take care. We'll talk to you tomorrow, hopefully. As you get people will get more jealous and nasty. That's the truth to it, Becky, without a doubt. But GAP program. Gotcha. Good night, man. I'm gonna hit the hay. I gotta be up early and go pick up a skid steer. It's 11:14. All right, Owen, you get some sleep. Take care of that old second gen for me. Yeah, Terry, did you hear the real story of how I got my Mustang? So my Mustang, Terry, I had, let me get this thing set up quick. Okay, guys, we're gonna do quick story time. Story time before bed, that's what we'll call it. The story of how I got Luke. Some of you know this. I think Spiro knows this if you're still here. Hey, you bet, O and B. We'll see you again, I hope. Becky, get some sleep. So, Terry, I got my Mustang in 2018. I had a friend of mine call me, and he says, hey, what kind of horse flesh do you got to trade right now? And I says, well, what do you need? And he says, I need something gentle for my little girls. And I had a really good old heel horse at the time, my high school rodeo horse. And he was great with kids. I mean, just awesome with kids. And he says, yeah, he knew the horse really well. He says, yeah, that Scooter, we called that horse, Palomino horse. Scooter would be great for my little girls. I'd love to make a trade for you. I says, okay, well, what do you got to trade? He says, man, what I got to trade is not a fair trade at all, especially for Scooter. He says, honestly, it's kind of even just an insult to you to offer to make this trade. And I says, well, Owen, I'm going to try and go live tomorrow in the evening about the same time. No guarantees. It might not happen. But I go live sporadically. So you just have to keep an eye out, make sure and subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on and all that good stuff. So anyways, he says, it's kind of an insult to even offer to make this trade for you. And I says, well, what is it? And he says, I got this Mustang. And if I don't get him off my property by the end of the week, I'm going to kill him. And I says, really, why? He says, because he just grabbed my oldest daughter by her hair and threw her over the fence panel. And I says, okay, well, how old is he? And he says, I think he's like 7 or 8. Sounds good, O and B. We'll see you then. He says, yeah, I think he's 7 or 8. And I says, all right, yeah, we'll trade. So I went and traded. And when I got Luke, he bit, and he kicked, and he bucked, and he run off, and he did throw himself down on my saddle once. I mean, I tell you guys, he was an absolute terrorist. Like, I honestly, there was a couple days there where I wondered, like, how big of a mistake did I make trading for this horse? And he was really hard to catch. Like, we'd run him in the wrangle pen with the cavy, and he would just be a terrorist, like almost trying to jump out of the pen to avoid being caught. And not one of my prouder moments. I don't like to admit that I did this, but I took a brand new dry cotton rope and I tied the base of it to a stout post on the edge of the wrangle pen. And he went running by me, and I roped him just bell collar right around the neck. I could never throw that quick of a loop again. And he hit the end of that rope, and he flipped over and landed straight upside down. And I heard this big pop, and I thought, son of a gun, I just killed him. You know, I just broke a leg or his hips or something. Well, he was going so fast when he hit the end of the rope, he slid, and that rope was tight. And I heard that big pop, and I thought I better jump on his head so he doesn't try to get up if he's crippled. So I went running over there and jumped on his neck, and he was trying to fight the rope pretty good like a Mustang will. And I let him run out of air pretty good, and I cut that rope and let him have his air back and checked all his legs. Still laying on his, kept my knee on his head, kept him down, and checked all his legs real good. And he wasn't hurt at all. And I just sat on him about 10 minutes and pet on him and just kind of let him know he was all right. And that horse stood up a different horse. Like, he stood up and looked at me and he says, okay, you're the boss. Whatever you try and teach me, I'm going to try and learn it. And ever since then, he's been really good. It was probably a year I had him in the 2-rein, and about a year after that, I had him straight up in the bridle. That rope every one of mine. Yeah, I believe that. I've had a couple Mustangs, and some of them were just dog gentle from day one. And like Luke, he's still kind of a pain in the ass to catch, but not that bad. So yeah, Luke wasn't always the gentleman he is now. That's for sure. But anyways, I'm gonna go get me some tongs out of the kitchen and turn this steak and go have some supper. Terry, Becky, everybody else that's been in the chat, thanks guys, I appreciate it. My evening doesn't go to shit tomorrow. We'll make sure and see you guys there. Adios, folks. Thanks for joining.